Hi, Roy. This is Deep Funding Town Hall 50. My name is Ayo, and I'm glad to have you all here. And we are doing this for people who might be watching later so that they are abreast of what we do in Deep Funding. And today happens to be one very interesting day. We have quite a number of presentations across the galaxy. I mean, this is just all over the place, and that's wonderful. Anthony from Africa, Guillermo from Latin America, and Andrea is presenting for Deep Funding, Dev Outreach on the Hackathon, which we are all very, very, very keen to hear how it's going. And of course, Jan, the Chief Deep Funding Officer, will share some updates, and of course, can glean some insights in that. So to start things out, we'll just quickly discuss what Deep Funding is, because if you're seeing this on YouTube or any of our social media, you want to know what this call was about, and we would like to just quickly do justice to that. Deep Funding is a decentralized ecosystem, a place where we release grants to fund projects and initiatives that are beneficial to SingularityNET, and that also aligns with SingularityNET's mission and values and goals. And of course, that will bring the question, so what then is the SingularityNET mission or strategy or values? It's simple: to create democratic, decentralized, beneficial AGI, artificial general intelligence. The idea is simple. Our values are also very, very good, open, creative, to collaborate, to do all of these three things with kindness. And this is how we intend to do everything that we do in Deep Funding. We run this community by ourselves, basically. So everything that happens in Deep Funding are either done by the community or reviewed by the community. So if you are joining Deep Funding, you will be able to do all of these things or one of these things. You can propose. If you check the deepfunding.ai website, you'll be able to see things that you can propose and see more information to that. You can also vote. You can get to decide what projects or what initiatives get funded. And you can discuss or review this project. You can share your thoughts, share your expertise on this initiative, this project. And then generally, you can just have discussions around everything that goes on in the funding community. And one other way that we do things is that we join circles. And if you are interested in community.deepfunding.ai, and you will be able to see the circle pages, or waiting to share good information with you. And then you can indicate your interest to join. All right. So welcome to today's town hall. And this is where we discuss everything related to Deep Funding. It's a very good place to learn, a place to ask questions, and a good place to be onboarded into Deep Funding. I'm sure that over time you will, hear people's stories, and you understand that, people join Deep Funding for a lot of different reasons. But the town hall is one place together where we all discuss, where we all share ideas, and where we all, get to know ourselves and see what we are all doing, as you'll be seeing. And should in case you're wondering, can I get to present in this town hall? Oh, sure, yes. We would like to hear from you. We would like you to tell us how you're doing with your project. We would like for you to host a breakout room on a specific topic. Should you want to talk about, say, for example, the emergence of AI in India, for example, we'd like to hear about it. You want to tell us something about something AI in America, we'd really love to hear about it. Anything, just, and then you can also schedule these sessions on our community website, community.deepfunding.ai, and you can book a session so that you can present. And we can go right into it today. So once again, you're welcome to Deep Funding Town Hall, and we will be having Guillermo presenting on CollabHub. I'm not sure if I have seen Guillermo in the room. I saw him trying to connect. But if you have anything to say, oh yeah, I see Guillermo now. Please feel free to raise your hands, and you can share, you can comment, you can ask questions. And I mean, this is exactly what we are here to do. All right, so thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. Guillermo, let me see if you are co-host already, so that if you would need to share screen, yeah, I think you're co-host now. So if you need to share screen, you can go ahead. Thank you very much. Guillermo, we'll
Hi, Joe.
be happy to have you now.
Can you guys hear me well? Hi, everyone. Good to be back at home. Long time no see. A lot of faces here. Busy days down here. A lot of stuff is going on with the Latin community, with the Deep Funding town halls, with the developments, with the RFPs. But it's good to be back to the origins to present the CollabHub proposal funded in the Deep Funding for beta when we tested the American platform for the Deep Funding that is running smoothly now. And I'm going to share screen after first giving a proper thanks to all the community, to Jan for helping on the drafting of this initial proposal, as we did have a whitelisted selection for the beta round 4, and he helped me to ideate. He brought some ideas, so I have shared with him deliverables earlier this month, but yeah, it came out to have a nice ideation process where a lot of things came up to the blueprint and the drawing board. So I'm going to share, because it's too many pages, so I'm going to just try to narrow it to a short presentation. But before we go into deliverables, I think it's proper to give a short description of what is the CollabHub. You guys, thumbs up, Ayo, if you guys are seeing my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. So the CollabHub. It came to life as being part of a Deep Funding community, the SingularityNET Ambassador program. It is kind of a result of a wider experiment with the community. But the main idea is to address a lot of the issues and concerns and challenges we are all in our everyday development towards the AGI, decentralized AGI. So what is the CollabHub? A decentralized collaboration platform for AI developments. I put this presentation with the idea pitch today, Idea Fest, that we used to have in those days, and to give a little introduction of the concept, and then I'm going to go to a little description of highlights of the deliverables. So first, what is the CollabHub? It's a common space for collaboration, a place to unleash innovation, share knowledge, and build groundbreaking AI solutions collectively. A platform designed to foster synergy among the brightest minds of our ecosystem. Today, a bigger family with the ASI Alliance merge. It was designed to collaborate in the Deep Funding challenges, but also in the wider ecosystem difficulties we are finding through our developments. the main concept is to transform competition into collaboration and to integrate this with AI tooling. That's the basics. And the great condiment that Jan brought to this when we were just designing the proposal was to, okay, why not a micro DAO? Why not to have a governance towards the innovation? So at the end, it's a collectively shaped platform that creates its own future through governance. The AI integration was the key element to be able to participate in the new under the new projects pool, and we thought it would be a great case study for implementing not only NLP-driven communication or predictive management or knowledge sharing or different tools for bug prevention, coding assistance, also to incorporate a lot of the developments that have been today been built by the community and are part of the SingularityNET marketplace. So we see this as a place for integration of different services, and to a case study for implementation. The basic idea of when you go through a development or a task is to first create a bold and strong team based on track records and deliverables. Okay, that's everything for project management. Be able to follow a roadmap. And then, and we say in football, if you don't have a ball, you don't have, even if you have a field or a team, you don't have nothing. So you need a place to draw those ideas. So one of the things that we thought it would be a great AI tooling for this kind of platform, it's smart recommendations when implementing AI-driven recommendation system to suggest potential collaborators, projects, and learning resources based on individual developer skills. Preferences and historical reputation contribution system. This feature will enhance collaboration by connecting developers with relevant opportunities, fostering dynamics and synergy environment. The other AI tooling we thought on implementing was to integrate an AI algorithm to create reviews on code submissions. A lot of things from the day we draft this till today, there have been a lot of new tooling on the market. So the challenge will be how we integrate them. But the objective is to ensure coding standards to enhance collaboration through and easy maintenance and quality standards. And the other basic for development is project management. So use also machine learning models to predict roadmaps, identify project bottlenecks, optimize resources allocation, and use all of this through inputs and data sets. This will look forward to ensure efficiency and enable teams to meet deadlines and deliver high quality results. This all wrapped in a DAO structure, where token holders and different stakeholders will contribute in shaping this platform. Then I'm going to go a little bit deep on the governance system we were creating for this, because it is quite difficult also to manage decision making. We are living proof of that. So doing this through a rating reputation system, we have been listening to all the teams, building and designing through different RFPs on the deep funding previous rounds towards this. And we believe that the CollabHub can be a place for implementing this reputation systems and designs, and do this with transparency and for that, it's not like a social scoring. We need to find the balance between malicious reputation to what it's a real reputation based on results. So that's why we're proposing a scoring that it's let's say craft through deliverables, through achieving timelines. So it will be a very complex integration of different data sets to this kind of projects, this kind of reputation system. Here is a short description of what we achieved in each milestone. I don't want to read what is on the slides, but the first milestone was, it almost has, I think, 55 pages of platform design. And then I'm going to do a small highlight in the business model. And this is something that the new rules and the new concept for ideation pulls on round 5, I really like, because all developments need to have a business model from the ideation process. And we, not only that way you can structure a digital architecture or UX and define different integration gadgets or features. You do that based on a business model, and that will bring more clarity and bolder concept when then you go down to build. Okay, so you build in regards of potential business model. So it's a different way to approach this. It's a more commercial approach. So you design it in terms of your objective, commercial objective. So then we did a big, deep research on a lot of platforms and open source developments to define incentive mechanism for contributors and different ways to integrate modular frameworks towards the principal objective of, in this case, AGI development. There's a lot of great projects around. So the challenge will be to keep learning, and if we have the chance to receive the funds on the next round 5 to build this CollabHub, to do it with in collaboration with different projects and developers from the ecosystem. So we are enhanced, and the DNA of the SingularityNET is within our blood, and the open source is everything is about open source. So transparency is a big thing. Yeah, so we spend a lot of time in integration and also in governance. We deliver, based on all of this, we deliver a flow chart. So we have a basic design of the architecture already. That is part of the deliverables. And again, you're going to, when I highlight the business model, you're going to understand that you create a flow chart in regards of what are your objectives. So okay, so I'm going to go deep on that later on. But last milestone was all about governance, and we have been struggling with the voting systems in different ecosystems, and ours is not. It's not an exception. We have been discussing how you integrate a reputation system into voting, difficulties of that, how big holders can impact decision making. So our design brought an idea of a hybrid system where excluding downvoting and making positive voting will bring a different decision making towards what are good projects, and the same with what would be where the platform will go in terms of performing restructuring. So yes, this is a long discussion for this. We have it inside our deep funding community. So the main idea of governance in this case will be, to avoid downvoting and to it's something that we have been experimenting also in the ambassador program with the R&D guild, and it brought some good results. So probably we will go in the same direction. It's highlight the positive impact of developments instead of and bring more the idea of collaboration instead of malicious action. So we believe it's a good way to avoid that, just to take it off the table. But just short highlights on the architecture. We were focused on in regards of developing a platform where with a solid, scalable architecture. That's everything we base our drafting. Focus on modularity and scalability. Jans mentioned something months ago. It's almost a year ago. This will be a case of eternal RFP. So the CollabHub could be an RFP, continuous RFP, integrating different proposals. So for doing that, you need modularity and you need the potential scalability design. So that's the only way to foster collaboration in this kind of architecture. For that, it's a detail of the languages and different technologies we'll be using, putting key on UX experience, transparency, integration from front end to back end, and also big piece of the design is based on security, encryption, and transparency, towards transparency and the links between the different users of the platform, users and clients. Okay, so talent and who we are offering reservers. So again, for scalability, also we take care of a design that can incorporate all of these issues in the proper way. And this is, sorry, I'm going too long. So these are the two things that we highlighted. The business model, this is something I was mentioning before. So we base on B2C and B2B approach. This way we identified the two aspects of the spectrum. And the idea will be to find a balance between this both. So individual developers and enthusiasts from different and diverse ecosystem to support collaboration and financial stability to a platform. So a strong business model based on deliverables and having these two, again, B2C based on freedom structure, education, community, and projects, and a B2B business model based on companies' profiles, based on project tooling, collaboration, customized support towards clients. That way we will have a specific place for companies to come through a profile, through an RFP or a potential project to create or to gather a team to develop and use all our tooling and AI integration to deliver towards project management and standards, efficiency, and all of that. Again, the conclusion and the challenge is to transform competition into collaboration and a place for developers around the world to interact and engage. Also, the other good counsel that Jan gave us when we brought this idea into life was the image we will use for the, the profile picture of the proposal. And I think this one says it all. This is a cave in Patagonia that has inscriptions years ago, more than 7,300 years ago. And it explains, imagine timeline, imagine people way too long with a fire, and how collaboration brought this expression to life. These guys were developers. They were building their present, their future. And we presented 2 images or 3, I don't remember, to Jan. I can say, okay, go with that one. And he nailed it, because this is really what the CollabHub will be if we need to use one image to express it. A place where all hands will build efficiently, one on top of the other, and a governance build that will restructure in terms of results and efficiency, and will create a system that will curate itself, and stand strong on transparency and building together a wiser and benevolent AGI. And thank you, gracias, merci, danke. Grazie, arigato, everyone. So sorry I went too long. The idea was to present the idea, not only give a report of where we are. And thank you, Ayo, for insisting for this to happen. Again, thank you to all the community that support us with their vote. And thanks, Jan, for the counseling through the process.
Thank you so much, Guillermo. Thanks so much. Wonderful presentation. Jan, I see your hand. Please go for it.
Of course, I have to say something here, right? I can't stay quiet here. Thank you, Guillermo. This would be a wonderful thing to have, and but also a very large undertaking. If we want to go all the way and do all the things on those slides, it will be like an operating system almost, right? So I like the idea, not sure who thought about it, but of this framework, creating and making it open. I like the idea of having multiple frameworks that we can target with rounds. So suppose we would have this framework, then we could make a pool for create all kinds of tools and widgets and small and bigger things that would fit into that framework. And that way we could aggregate the community's efforts into one large thing. So that I really like. Also, what I'm thinking is, what is absolutely crucial here is that we do the foundation, the architecture right. If after a year or after 1 year and a half, we come to the conclusion there's some fundamental mistake there, then refactoring may take a long time and a lot of money. So what I'm thinking about is, what would be the next step here? How do you think we can ensure that whatever architecture will be created will be the best possible one? And one idea comes to my mind, so I'll put it on the table right away. I can imagine two ways. I can imagine you creating a proposal in the next round, which is the idea of the whole idea behind ideation things. I can also imagine this becoming an RFP, where we allow multiple teams to put their brains towards that and think about this first crucial step. How do you see that?
Well, we share the vision, Jan, from day one. It's one comment on the platform, on the proposal. It will be like this eternal RFP. That's open source development collaboration. I think that will be the right approach. This is the seed of an idea. I think that the process of the blueprint and the design, already we spend a lot of brain on it, but going through a process of validating that it's the right architecture, having different members will be the right approach. The whole idea of the ideation process is that to bring a bolder idea. We base it on, as I mentioned, on the business model, but thinking in ourselves, on the SNET community. So we didn't thought on only monetizing, we thought on really building. And then, yeah, the hard thing on a lot of this, too many people on one thing, it's a challenge, but it has great potential. So the challenge there is project management, so what to deliver, modularity, architectural, and then you can scale. And again, it's working with the right people. So selection, human resources, collaboration, partnership. So yeah, it will be a big challenge. And I think it's a discussion to have. And but I believe it's we have the right people in the community. Now we are a wider family. Now we have been interacting with the Fetch AI people. It has a lot. I've been collaborating with them, and there's a lot to bring into this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And the idea of a big RFP collection, you were right up from the beginning.
But what would be the next step to go from this idea to building this? Would the next step be an RFP, or would the next step be a proposal?
Well, we follow the steps of ideation, and you challenge us since that day. That ideation, a lot of community, it has to have the commitment to present a proposal. But today, where we are, the thing that we need for the alliance, I don't know. Probably it's a longer discussion that we should have with the right people on the table. I don't know. I just jumped from a meeting with a lot of developers here in Argentina, and I'm trying to pull people for the RFPs on OpenCog and Meta for the next week deadline. Really, we're working on tough timelines, but yeah, probably with more time and more information of your vision on where you are and where is SingularityNET with this idea. We're going to have a bolder and wider conversation.
I have 100 details questions that I won't ask right now, but we can do that another time. One thing I want to mention here, which is a little bit tricky, interesting. So when we were in Bangkok on the ecosystem festival of SingularityNET, and after that ASI thing, I pitched internally, was it internally? Well, yeah, semi-internally, an idea to create something that I called ASI Connect, a LinkedIn for ASI, but with jobs, and going forward, it should have collaboration tools, but reputation and profiles and search and collaboration would be, so there's overlap with what you're doing there. And I didn't get an agreement on that. I said, shall we put forward an RFP for this? And I think what I got back there is that people said, it's too much. Maybe we can build it on something that already exists. And one other person said, well, okay, building it is one thing, but maintenance is another thing. Now, the DAO and the governance might be a solution to that problem. So yeah, I think that is interesting. So, and now, so 2 weeks after that was rejected by the people in the room. Maybe not by every individual, but that was the basic outcome. Now you come back with this thing that already I was somewhere back in my mind. It wasn't top of my mind anymore. And now I'm hearing myself saying, well, why don't you make an RFP out of this? And I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, that was more or less the same thing that was rejected before. But this is community. So I wouldn't say no, so I'm open to explore it. And one question: did you also do competitive research to see what is already on the market, and if there are platforms or things that we can use or can piggyback upon, or whatever that could give us a quick start, a head start?
Yeah, I did some, but basically it's a hybrid idea from what is there and what is not. And I think that that's why I highlight again the business model. So if we exclude, we open it not only to the ASI partners and members, and we open the door to what is today the wider ecosystem, all the partnership that the ASI Alliance has, and we brought them as clients, potential clients to the platform. We have a business model. We have something that can scale in terms of income and output. So
But the development of this will take quite some time, right? I mean, this ideation project already took quite some time. So developing before we have something concrete will take a lot of time. So that business model and to have customers, that will also take some time. So probably we first need to build.
yeah, probably something we can go in detail on a different call, but definitely there's a lot of need. I think for this kind of in our ecosystem and of course wider, we have ourselves the funnel for resources, human resources. We can use this kind of place to educate, having in mind the efficiency we have in open core program. There's a lot of aspects we can, but of course it is complex. So also project management and baby step building, step by step, and integration on all of this. It really depends on the architecture you put together and the people.
Yeah, so maybe an RFP isn't the worst thing, because maybe then we would get 5 proposals with different timelines and different architectures, and based on that we can make a better decision on. And after when we have them, we can still say, well, maybe we won't choose any of them because it's too expensive or too long or too whatever. Or we have 2 proposals that we can present and make the whole thing more concrete. But maybe we should give some time to the other presenters here. We're already taking up too much time, I think. Yeah, well, so let's take this time and brainstorm on this a little bit further afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Guillermo. Thank you, Ian. We enjoyed the conversation. Yeah, that was quite insightful. I'm sure that there may be people who also have questions. I have questions. I understand that Guillermo may have to leave at some point. So this is definitely not something that we can exhaust in one presentation. Guillermo, we look forward to having part 2 of this. Because, for example, I would like to see maybe some, when I say I would like, I'm just suggesting, just my thought that something that came to my mind, to see what some of those flow charts will look like, to also see if you're considering rating and reputation exporting, right? So for example, if developers on the CollabHub, if they have good reputation, are you thinking of probably being able to export it to other DAOs, something like that? But I mean, please do not answer. I just thought that I want to drop. I'm sure that people have thoughts as well. But I mean, we still have to. There's Anthony, there's Andrea, and there's still Ian. So yeah, so we'll say a very big thank you to you, Guillermo, for that presentation. Thank you so much for taking your time out to share all of those with us. Thank you so much, Ian, for the questions. All right, Anthony. Yes, Anthony, are you there? I thought I saw Anthony. Yes, I see Anthony. Anthony,
yes,
would you like to go now?
Yeah, I'd like to
All
go.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, please.
Can you see me?
Are you presenting? Do you want to share screen? Oh, yeah, please. Oh, very good. We can see your screen now. Anthony, I think you're breaking a little bit.
Yes.
I hope it's not you. I hope I'm the one. Okay, can we try again?
Okay. Oh,
hello, Anthony. I think you're still breaking.
screen.
Can anyone hear Anthony,
Let me
or is it just me?
No, I can hear
Okay,
you.
Anthony, you're still breaking? Okay.
No, the connection is not great. We can first go to somebody else.
Yeah. So Anthony, we just go to Andrea while you try to resolve your reception. Andrea, I hope we can come to you. I mean, if you were willing, please, you can. Yeah, thank you so much, Andrea.
Sure. Okay, sorry. Let me put you here. Okay. So thank you. I don't see you, so if something happens or you want to ask something, let me know, and you can open your mics. So I'm gonna give you updates about the hackathon, the risk awareness that we are hosting right now. As you might remember, the date for registration started the 28th of October, sorry, and it ended the 11th. Then we had more people joining in. I can't say until what day, but yeah, we got more people than expected. So, but I'm gonna get there. And the date for our hackathon started the 18th of November, and it's gonna finish the 29th. We decided the prize to be 10K. The first place is gonna win 4K, the second 3K, the third 2K. And there is an optional fronted prize pool. It's 1K for those who are able to present the front end. And the hackathon, as I mentioned before, is based on the Potrex risk assessment service. Kenrick is one member of the community, and he got funded through Deep Funding in the round 4. And his service is successfully on the marketplace. Well, I want to talk a little bit about our strategy. So in this case, we used different strategies to reach out to developers and also onboarders, participants and onboarders. So the first one was social media. We had help from the marketing circle, and we are really thankful for that because they made a really good job posting on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, and Mattermost. Then Judith helped with the mailing list that Deep Funding already has. So that was also of help. I think we reached out a lot of people through it. And also spreading the word was part of it. Some of our community told their friends. We also have a teammate who shared this in some schools in India, town hall meetings and the meetings that we've been to. And finally, the X space. We had an open FAQ space. It wasn't a success completely, but I think it helped a little. So a few people were interested in it. Maybe with more organized space, I think it could be successful. Okay, so let's move on to the participants. As you can see, I have here a graphic, and well, we received 34 registrations, and I'm gonna just mention some of the countries. For example, we had people from Nigeria, Ghana. I think most of the participants are from Nigeria, and then Ghana. We also had people from Congo, Morocco, India, as I mentioned before, China, in Asia, the US, Brazil, Canada, and Argentina. Some people from Sweden, in Europe as well, and well, cities like Sao Paulo, which is in Brazil. It was interesting how we reached out to different places in the world and how people are connecting. I'm really excited to share that some of them didn't have a team, and they found some teammates here, and now they are working together. I have another graphic here, and just to let you know that some of our participants didn't participate in a hackathon before, and most of them, well, more than the half, already participated in a hackathon. So we have like a mix of experienced participants. And then, well, we faced some challenges that I want to address a little. The first challenge that we had to go through was the channel of communication with our participants. So one of the conclusions in the last meeting was to switch to a more accessible communication channel, since Mattermost wasn't that easy to handle. And it looks like it wasn't as easy for our participants either. Then we had also the landing page that we didn't had ready for when the time came. And we think it would have been a really good tool to reach out to more people. Then we have the timelines. So we decided to extend the timelines for some of the, for example, for the registration and for the their projects and more stuff. So we are learning, and I think we had a really good experience, and we now are more experienced. Then the participation, it was also challenging to get responses from our participants. We had to reach out through different channels like email, Telegram, Discord, even LinkedIn, and different channels, because some of them didn't answer the emails. So yeah, those are the challenges that we faced. And we are still in the process, but we will come up with more information later. Then we have the projects. Most of them were divided into these 5 topics. So as you can see, we have some people working on health, some on social impact, education, financial, environmental. And the biggest sector was financial. So our participants are more interested in the financial sector. Then we have the health sector. And finally, education and environment. It's like the one in line there. Then the social impact is, we only had one person interested in that. And well, finally, this is about us, the Dev Outreach Circle. as you know, we are dedicated to fostering developer engagement and ensuring a thriving ecosystem of AI-driven projects on the Singularity Marketplace. And this is all of us. Ronald didn't want to share his picture, so I imagine him like that. He's in the middle. And the other 6 are Gabriel, Ubio, Judith, Ishan, Riyad, and me. So I hope this is enough information for you, but I'm open to answer questions. I think Ubio and Ishan are here too, in case you want to ask more about it. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay, so Jan did everyone to it. Thank you, Andrea, for the presentation. Thanks so much. Jan, please go for it.
Yeah, very good presentation, and glad you also showed the challenges and the channels, how you did that. I think it's very insightful. So thank you for that. There's one thing I want to zoom in a little bit. You said that Mattermost didn't work out so well, and that you had a discussion and you decided not to go for Mattermost next time. I would like to, so I was a little bit surprised, to be honest, by your choice selection of Mattermost. But my first question is, what were the main issues you and the participants experienced with Mattermost?
For some participants, it was difficult to join. For some reason, they couldn't log in.
Yeah.
At first, they had even their username, but then when trying to get in again, something happened, like an error or something. So yeah, I think that was the main issue that we faced.
And if that wouldn't be an issue, would Mattermost then be a good solution?
That's what I thought. That was
Okay, well,
like
then I may have news for you. So we have been researching about half a year ago, or even longer ago, the idea of having. So we now have 2 Mattermost instances. One is not visible for most people because it's only for people with an SingularityNET email address. The other is SingularityNET World, we call it, which is for everybody that is whitelisted, that gets an invite. And from the start, we had this idea, well, maybe we could also have a very open Mattermost where anybody can just join. And what we then researched is whether we could have a single sign-on. So that if anybody would be registered on deepfunding.ai, that with the same login, they could also enter Mattermost. And that is still a very attractive option to me. One reason why we didn't do it is that we thought, well, creating a new social channel is one thing, but getting rid of it is much harder than starting a new one. So we really need to be very sure that this is what we want. And the other thing is that, social media requires monitoring and auditing and what's the word? So keeping the trolls out, basically. Especially when it's a public thing. So it's something you wouldn't do too lightheartedly. You need to think about it and really be sure that this is the thing you want to do. Now, with this experience of this hackathon, and me imagining that we will have bigger hackathons coming up and bigger hackathons, and I see hackathons as a very good trajectory to help deep funding and the community of developers around SingularityNET grow. I really am a believer in that. If we can connect that with registration on deepfunding.ai and then a single sign-on Mattermost, and of course that landing page on the community website, which it really hurts me that we weren't being able to make more of that. But that's another thing that we will really put some attention to. So imagine that you have registration, that you have single sign-on to MetaMask, that you have not only a good landing page, but over time also whatever functionality you need to support the hackathon. Then I would say the benefit of MetaMask would be that with each hackathon, the number of people could increase because the old people are also there. And maybe it's better suited to having all kinds of communications and collaborations than, for instance, Telegram would, because it's more structured. You have subjects and so on. So yeah, based on what you're saying right now, I would say don't bin it just yet. Let's give it a better chance. Unless, and that's why I was asking, there were also other issues. If people really hate the interface of MetaMask or whatever, then that would be a different situation. So I'm not fully sold or married to this situation, but let's revisit it, I would say.
Yeah, actually, one of the main ideas of why we chose Mattermost was because it's where the ecosystem of SingularityNET and Deep Funding is. So yeah, that was the reason why we chose Mattermost. But yeah, we will give it a thought.
Yeah, so one other thought here, which is why I was a little bit surprised for this choice. In deep funding rounds, we don't invite all proposers to Mattermost because we don't know these people. They're new. We would like to get some impression of who they are and what they're doing. And then when they're awarded, for instance, we do invite them on Mattermost. So yeah, having a public version would solve that, and it would also be more dedicated to other people being in hackathons, and you will meet people who were in hackathons three rounds ago and have more experience, and you would have an onboarding team there maybe, which you're also working on. So yeah, I still think that's a positive. It has potential. Let's put it like that. Sorry, I'll stop talking.
Yeah, I just
All right.
wanted to
Thank
add
you,
to,
Ian.
yeah, can I just add to what Andre said there?
Yeah,
So yeah, you're very right. For us, the idea was about building a community right from the onset. So that was why MetaMask was also the best choice for us. We already had in mind that we don't just want people to come and have a hackathon, but we're building a community from there. We didn't actually then have a well-structured thought like we're now having those discussions right now. But we just knew that whatever we're going to be doing, we need these people somewhere because it's not just going to be a one-off thing. So that was part of the consideration as well when we thought about MetaMask.
all right. Thank you, Bill.
I have a
Um,
question.
Musanda, please.
Yeah.
I see your hands.
All right. Yeah, so let's say I'm like new in the hackathon and I'm not as experienced as the other guys. So let's say I have a good idea on what I want to build, but I'm almost done with the back end, but I'm having problems with the front end. So I'm just kind of wondering how exactly um you're gonna grade it, like with the scores, since the back end is 80, and then the front is 20. So yeah.
Okay, Musunda,
All right. Yeah, please go for it.
don't stress yourself. We actually created two categories. The core thing is the back end, the API, which we're actually building. The front end is a different category for those who can build a front end, and it's just $1,000, and that is just for those who spend extra time to build the front end. The real stuff is for people who build the back end and are able to call the API service to do what you're doing, which is actually what you're doing. That's a core part of it. However, we also still want to challenge people to see, okay, you've done this. Can you go a step further? So we actually want the same way you're asking us how you are going to do it is the same way we're asking you. Is that creativity and that innovation that we actually want to see what people can do? So if you're asking us how that's going to be, that's actually the question. It's actually like we are actually trying to ask you the question to see what can you do. So, but actually don't stress yourself. What you've done is actually the core thing. But if you want to stress yourself, if you want to be much more innovative, to ask yourself that question, what more? Then welcome. That is actually the essence. We are also asking you what more.
Okay, what if I'm trying to like spin up a server so I can get up my URL so I can send it out to my team and have it for testing, but I'm having problems to like run it. So um
Okay.
like yeah.
You got our channel. You have my this thing on MetaMost and Ishan. These are the two and Riyadh. So these are the three persons you get in contact with when you're having any development challenge, and we'll definitely see how we can guide you through.
All right, thanks. I'll reach out.
All right.
All
Hey,
right, thank
Musonda.
you, Musonda, for
Sorry,
sharing
just quick
that.
thing. The primer actually has how we're going to be grading you for each component, so your back end and your front end. In regards to your front end, it would be the interface design, so how it looks, how it feels, and then the user experience. So is it clicky? Like, does everything work all right? Is it pretty understandable? Nobody needs to have like a guide to go through your front end. Those are basically the components that we'd be looking at from a judging perspective. Sorry. Oh yeah, I don't mean to cut you off right there, but I just wanted to give us on the quick rundown on what was required.
So the core objective is the back end, right?
Yep. The front end is just optional, purely optional. It's for a separate prize pool.
All right, got it. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Musonda. Just a side question. Anthony, I see your hands. I will try. Hopefully, your reception is much better. Musonda, where are you from? If not too much of a question, just humor us.
Who, me?
Yes, please.
Oh, I'm in the US, Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Anthony, please. Let's try your reception now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to share my screen. I wanted to do a presentation for my deep funding round 4 ideation project on OSI payment gateway. Is it still possible to make that presentation, or I should just
Yeah,
say it like this?
your co-host now. So if you would like to share, that'll be fine.
Oh,
I think you should speak to your reception, confirm with
okay.
the receptions. We wanted to share. Does the reception want you to share?
Exactly. So basically, the whole project idea came about because I needed to collect payments in a decentralized manner for my AI SaaS product. You get, and the complexity of making payments through the AI marketplace made me realize the need for a very simple payment gateway. Even at that same moment, I was enjoying a good experience using Namecheap. If anybody uses Namecheap, and you've used the pay with crypto option, Bitcoin Pay, it's very smooth, very nice. So I needed that kind of experience for my SaaS product. That's what set the idea in motion. So basically, this is not the screen I wanted to share. Let me see. Basically, this gateway will sit on top the multi-party escrow. If you check the active RFPs, there's a Cardano-based MP multi-party escrow, and there's an existing Ethereum-based multi-party escrow. So basically, this will sit on top that to reduce the complexity of users, that's the end users of a SaaS product, from interfacing with a multi-party escrow. That might be too challenging. Just a simple payment gateway. Let me see if I can demo this stuff so that you see how simple it is. Then there's a link to the documentation that I'll also share. Okay, yeah. Let me restart. Yeah, so this is it. This is the page where you come from your SaaS product. If you're a SaaS user, you want to make payments, you come to this kind of page. You either input your credit card, PayPal, or other means of payment. So this is where ASI token comes. You simply click ASI token here, proceed. Then you scan, you simply get a wallet address. You make payments. Once you make payments, there will be like a countdown to confirm the payment. Then that is between you and the developer of the SaaS product. Very simple payment gateway. Now, the developer of the SaaS product will simply connect to the multi-party escrow and deploy this project on the AI marketplace. It reduces the complexity. So this is basically an ideation. We hope to put this proposal in the next funding round. That's the whole point. And there's an issue that happens in round 3. I had a very beautiful proposal that I wanted to make, but it didn't fit into any of round 4. It didn't fit into any of the categories. That's why I had to force it into the ideation phase. Again, I hope that issue will not occur again, because basically this is ideation. We want to make a proposal on this in this coming round 5. So that's the general idea. The link to the document. Can you still see my screen, please?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we see a landing page sample now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll send this link on the chat. This is a complete research on it. My network is terrible, but this is the process we followed. Methodology for this. We talked about existing solutions, BitPay, Coinbase e-commerce, Coin Payments, BTC Pay Server. I've made use of BitPay. It's very simple. And for SaaS products, especially AI SaaS products, it will be perfect. So we did a complete breakdown of what we hope to achieve in the ideation phase. Then this is the landing page, proposed landing page that just gives you an idea of what we're trying to do here. Sorry, it's loading. This is how the landing page for such a project will look like. Something simple. Then also, survey response is very important, please. It's almost like as if I'm building it for myself. I know any AI developer that has built any SaaS product in recent times, we can't keep depending on Stripe and all these guys. They've monopolized the market. Can you hear me? Yeah, exactly. So they've monopolized the market. So the whole point of this is to basically collect payments in a decentralized manner. So this will sit, at the end of the day, we'll deploy this on the AI marketplace. And the developer of the SaaS product will interface with this on the AI marketplace. So basically that's how it was. Then if you come here to this page, survey responses, there's a link here, please. We need user input, very important, please. We've received few responses so far. Okay, yeah, exactly. This is the analytics on it. You can check it out. Let me drop the link right now. How do I get the chat? Okay, I'll drop it later. Anyway, these are the responses we've received so far. And we would like more input, especially on the architecture, basically, because we want to make it as simple as possible for the AI developer so that the end user doesn't have any issue. The AI developer will have to battle out the multi-party escrow on the AI marketplace, but this should be as simple as possible to scale. So especially on the architecture, we need more input on designing it. And the end goal of this is to make a proposal. So thank you. Any questions?
All right. Thank you so much, Anthony. Ian is on standby. I was hoping somebody would beat Jan to it again, but I mean, I mean, I would have, but I'm hosting, so I'm not allowed to compete with Jan. Just kidding. All right. Thank you, Anthony. Jan, please go for it.
You can go first this time, Ayo.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Anthony. So my question is there what's the user's story? So or is there maybe a simplified way to approach this from a user's perspective? So I want to use ASI token to pay for an AI service, say in the AI marketplace. What does it look like for me? I mean, I think this is the USP of the solution, that there's ease around it. So could you walk me through what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can add, there are two scenarios to this. It's either you are the AI developer or you are the end user. The AI developer will go to the AI marketplace and
Okay. Anthony, you're breaking. This is the part where I'm thinking maybe I should
make
not
use
have taken.
of this service. This service.
Anthony, can you hear me, Anthony?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, you were breaking a lot at some point. Maybe I should have let Ian ask this question. Maybe I caused this. Do you want to try again, Anthony? Or maybe Ian, can you ask your question? Maybe Anthony can respond in the chat. I think Anthony can hear us, but we're not hearing him.
Yeah, so my impression is that this service is aimed at making payments to the multi-party escrow. Is that correct? You can type in the chat if you want, Anthony. Oh, he's not. He's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So,
And then let me make a kind of clarification here, why I was eager to ask a question here. But the first thing is what I wanted to know from Anthony is if he has seen that we also have PayPal integration for the multi-party escrow. It's not quite apparent. It's only when you actually want to start buying API calls that you get into that option. But that has already been there for, I don't know, 3 years or something. I don't think it's used a lot, but the nice thing is that you can pay with fiat. So you can pay with fiat for API calls already. Maybe it's the best kept secret, I don't know. The other important thing I wanted to mention here, Anthony, you're back. Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Anthony, can you say something? Okay, I don't think Anthony is fully back.
I'll just the main thing that I want to say here is that we have been looking at payment gateways and integrations, and actually we were very close to implementing a system that's called Banksa, BANXA. And what it would allow you is to not only make payments, so I could pay in fiat and it would be transferred underwater to ASI and I could connect that to a service or whatever. I was also seeing an interesting use case for deep funding where we could pay people in AGIX, and if they want, they can immediately transfer that to US dollars and then have it sent to their bank account in one go. So that would be really, really useful. They take a margin on that, of course, so it might not always be the cheapest solution, but for sure it would have been the easiest solution. The only reason why we didn't do that is ASI happened. And then we were merging, and there was a lot of attention to that and a lot of work that needed to be done. And we were going to another token. So why and implementing this stuff and buying that license for a token, etc. There's a significant fee. So wouldn't be useful to do that for a couple of months and then do it again for another token. So, Anthony, it's important for you to know that we are still or have restarted working on Banksa integration. And yeah, I'm not sure what that will mean for your use case. By the way, I did like your landing page a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Jan. Thank you. Can you come again with the last point, please, about the what you're building?
Yeah, so you can have a look at Banksa. It's written Banxa. And we will, I think we are again integrating that, or we will have that integrated before too long, probably on FAT, and then maybe at some point we'll have to redo it for ASI. But I don't think that will stop us. And yeah, it will have a lot of the features that you also mentioned. So it will be able to convert fiat to ASI or FAT in this case, or FAT to fiat. And it will also, and I thought that was the most impressive thing. If you as an awarded team would receive tokens, you could have them transferred to dollars if you want, and then have them sent right away to your regular bank account. And I thought that was a pretty strong and useful feature for deep funding. And of course, we would be integrating that, or we could be integrating that with a platform. We thought half a year back that we might also be integrating that with staking, for instance. So you could stake based on fiat, and then the tool would transfer it to a token. So there is some work being done there. So before you take any next steps, it might be useful to have some more information on that. And the other thing I mentioned, when you may have been away, is that there is currently already a PayPal integration, so you can already buy AGIX at this moment still based on dollars.
Noted. Thank
All right, thank you. I think Anthony got that. Yeah. All right. So with Anthony's network and time on our side, I think we should have Jan right now. Oh, Andrea. Okay. Andrea, please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I just forgot to mention that we will have the presentation of every team or the winners. Yeah, the winners and every team in the hackathon on the 6th of December at 6 p.m. UTC. Hopefully all of you can be there, and we will keep on inviting people in the community. That was it. Thank you.
Okay.
I will be there.
All right. Thank you, Andrea. I will be there. All right. So we can have Jan now.
Yeah, so I'll keep it really short, guys. So I have two things here. Let me have my cheat sheet. So one thing is the RFPs, they have been extended for another week. The reason is that the whole AGI team that is supposed to assess these proposals that are coming in is next week on a face-to-face meeting in Brazil, actually. So they won't have time to look at the proposals. So we extended it 1 week until the 8th. So you have some time to submit a proposal if you want. We have 39 proposals in last time that I looked, which is not too bad. But I do hope for a few more. And yeah, looking forward to that. So that's a small thing. Oh, another thing is that we're also working on some other RFPs. One that I hope that will see the light maybe in a week, maybe in 10 days or whatever, would be an RFP on community hubs. So where this meeting is about everything, these community hubs would be similar, but then targeted at a specific area. Could be DeFi or robotics or agriculture or whatever. And we hope that way we can build a dedicated community. So if you are interested in leading such a community and driving such a community, then we can give you a little bit support to get you going there. And yeah, it could be a great thing. Won't get into the details there. That's for another time and place. Another thing, if you have been taking attention, this afternoon we had a new deployment on the website of some new functionality. I'll just go through it really quickly. The most visible part is that now we have filters, so you can filter on a number of things, similar as in an e-commerce site. So you can filter on industry or technique or pool or all of them together, and with each filter option you will narrow down your search or add a few things. That's also possible. So what we need to do there is tag the projects properly for some of these things, so that it will actually work. But I think that's a very useful attribution to our website. So it will be easier in the next round to filter down on the projects that have your personal interest based on the domain or the technology. Yeah, another thing that annoyed me a little bit, if you're right now going to a specific RFP and then you say submit proposal, then you get the whole list of RFPs again to check from. And now that has been improved. So if you are on an RFP already and you select submit proposal, you will that RFP will already be pre-selected. So it's a small but relevant thing. And very important also for the current people on the RFP, we have now at the bottom right of the site, we have a feedback and support widget. So that will open up a form, and if you have an issue or if you have a question, then you can use that widget, and also the development team will see those questions. So the development team didn't have access to Telegram in their country. So that means that all issues, etc., needed to come by mail or by me, or there wasn't always the easiest or the quickest route. So now everybody that experiences an issue on the website can open that feedback button, a feedback window, and then they will get feedback directly from the developer team. We also added a few things in preparation for Deep Funding Round 5. So the locked unlocks version that we have in the RFPs, we thought it would be a good idea to have that on Deep Funding Round 5 as well, to motivate people to submit early and not wait until the latest date because they're afraid that their project will be copied. We updated the functionality around reviews and ratings. So where in last round, a lot of these reviews and ratings were done behind the scenes and in documents and in Excel sheets, etc. In the next round, they would so every reviewer would be able to make their review and rating on the front end, so that the community experts I'm talking about, but do so anonymously. So that means that the team would see exactly what the 5 independent reviews or so of their project are, and also what the final verdict is after the group has come together. So that way we hope that all these reviews and all that input will be more valuable and will be usable and visible to people. It was a bit of a pity that we did a lot of work which was not visible on the front end, and of which the teams also weren't able to learn. Small thing, functionality wise, we have now extended the milestones with success criteria. So you're not only supposed to give a description of your milestone, but also what are the success criteria? When is it up to par, and when is it good enough? That will also help in reviewing the milestones later on. Those are the main things. So I would say it's quite a significant update in between rounds. Much more to come, also bigger things, but that is probably for the next year. A few things that are still in progress. One thing that will also be significant is a global site search. We're working on that, needs a little bit more time. So currently you can search on proposals already or awarded projects. At that moment, when we have the global site search, you can search on any key and you will also see blog content or projects or comments. I don't know exactly what we added there, but so that will make it much easier to search through the website. And some other small, more cosmetical things that I won't get into right now. So I want to share that with you. Have a look, and maybe in 1 or 2 weeks we have all the projects properly tagged, and then you can filter on all those projects, awarded projects, but also in deep funding round on any new proposal that is being submitted. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ian. Interesting updates there. So Jan cannot ask Ian question. So who's going to be Ian for Ian? Any questions? Any question for Ian?
I thought you would take that role, Ayo.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I do not have any question for you. So maybe someone else does. All right. When you were
Okay. Yeah, I
speaking,
think
I was actually thinking about the RFPs. All right, please, Ubia, please go ahead.
okay, yeah. So I think the only question in my head is when I got to hear about the fact that now in the rounds we're going to be having the lock and the open feature, right? So in my head, I'm just rather thinking if we're having the lock and the open feature for in the rounds, does that mean that now in the rounds we are not going to be prioritizing comments and feedbacks and ratings, which most times we're always done in real time, and we've got people changing their proposals or adjusting stuff as a result of that feature. One, or how do people understand the extent of that implication that, okay, if I'm locking up my proposals, it means I'm letting go, or I do not need feedback from these proposals or community feedback. So that's just what came to my head.
Yeah, that's a very valid remark. So the idea when we started with rounds was that we have them open and we do that for a couple of weeks, and people would have all kinds of valuable feedback and improve their proposals, etc. In reality, what happened with at least 50%, but maybe even 70% of the proposals is that they were submitted in the last 48 hours or something. So yeah, those proposals were apparently more concerned about having people copy their proposals or their ideas than benefiting from any feedback from the community. So that was the reality that we were looking at. So the way to mitigate that is by making sure that people can't see all the details, just the highlights, and then only after submission is completed, we will show the whole thing. It's not completely top of mind what happens in the next phase, if people will still at that stage be able to make comments and make changes. You would have to ask Raphael that, but he's in charge of deep funding round 5. Maybe one other thing that might be interesting here is what we discussed with the UX team, but I don't think this is currently implemented. I would need to check, but to make it optional. So I think that's for the next round. I think for this round, we would make it for everybody the same. So it's hidden, see what happens, experiment, learn from that. But with the option in the next round, deep funding round 6, would that be have everybody in control themselves. So you decide whether only the title and the summary is being displayed or the whole thing. And then you decide what's more important for you, protection or getting feedback.
Ubio?
But
All
maybe
right.
maybe for this first time, it's better to keep it the same for everybody, to keep it simple, to make people used to this new format. And then the next round after that, make it a little bit more sophisticated and make it optional.
All right. Thank you, Ian.
Very good
Yeah.
question.
So does that mean that the reviews don't happen until until the rounds are closed? Or is there a risk of a reviewer also proposing in the RFP? Because if you have access to somebody else's proposal.
No, so I'm not, as I said, I don't have top of mind what exactly happens after that first submission round. So we will have the reviews, the expert reviews after that, but I don't have the exact stages on top of mind. And whether it will still be possible for the community at that stage to make comments, yeah, for sure. I expect so, I must say. Whether the teams can then at that point still make adjustments, I'm not 100% sure. But maybe we can ask Raphael in the next session. And we still have some time until
All right. Thank you very much.
5. So if we have better ideas, then maybe we can still make changes accordingly.
All right. Thank you so much, Ian. Is there any other question for Ian? Or any other question at all? Okay, so I see that there are no more questions. And we are 10 minutes over 1.5 hours. So this is a very good place to say thank you to everyone who joined today's town hall. Joanne for recording and all the work that you do, putting it on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you, Andrea, for presenting. Anthony is not here. Thank you for the effort. I mean, that must have been very frustrating to not be able to present because your reception was bad. Sorry, you had to go through that. Thank you, Guillermo, in absentia. And to everyone else for the questions, for being here, for the contribution. And to every one of us who had our faces on screen. Thank you to us too as well. All right. So yeah, this is a very good place to stop. Thank you for attending. All hands will be next week, Wednesday, 2 p.m. UTC. The next town hall 51, will be 2 weeks' time, same place. Thanks so much for joining.
One practical
Bye.
One practical remark, Ayo. The community website now has a Google Calendar plugin. So if you use that, you will see all the all hands and town halls in your Google Calendar, and you will never miss a session again.
Yes, thanks so much, Jan, for saying that. Yes, so please visit community.deepfunding.ai and get all events logged on your Google Calendar. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.